Each woman's cycle is as different and unique as they are. However, it is helpful to have examples from which you can interpret your basal body temperature curve. Here you see a typical temperature curve with 28 days cycle length. Ovulation took place between day 12 and day 13, recognizable by the significant rise in basal body temperature. The corpus luteum phase after ovulation lasts 15 days and ends with the onset of menstruation. As you can see from this example curve, there are curves where the last value before ovulation is significantly lower than most other days measured before. The reason for this is the increased estrogen level shortly before ovulation. Good to know! This is the ideal day for sexual intercourse if you want to conceive. A relatively high average temperature, as can be seen in the example curve, can indicate an overfunctioning thyroid gland. This is called hypothyroidism. Other symptoms of hypothyroidism may be long cycles, low menstrual bleeding, general restlessness and nervousness, rapid increased sweating. However, despite the increased average temperature, the basal body temperature curve shows the typical pattern with an increase after ovulation and a significant increase during the corpus luteum phase. Important: whether you suffer from hypothyroidism can only be diagnosed by a doctor. A relatively low average temperature, as can be seen in the example curve, can indicate an underactive thyroid gland. This is called hypothyroidism. If your waking temperature is below 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, the Daysy app will notify you after syncing. Temperatures below 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, are automatically excluded from the algorithm and displayed as a yellow or red day if it falls within the fertile window. Further indications of a hypothyroidism can be absence of menstruation, persistent heavy periods, irregular cycles or cycles without ovulation, short luteal phase, temperature fluctuations. However, despite the low average temperature, the basal body temperature curve showed the typical pattern with a characteristic increase after ovulation and significant increase during the corpus luteum phase. Important: whether you suffer from an underfunction of the thyroid gland can only be diagnosed by a doctor. If a measurement is clearly out of the range, Daysy will disregard it, but in case of doubt, Daysy will display as a yellow or red day if within the fertile window. Such one-time outliers can be caused by alcohol consumption, fever, too little or very long sleep, or by incorrect measurement. A fever is when your body temperature reaches at least 38 degrees Celsius, which is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. If this is the case, you will most likely feel ill and you will notice that your temperature curve is unusually high. The Daysy Day app will alert you that your temperature is high and recommend you temp with a standard medical thermometer. Temperatures above 37.8 degrees Celsius or below 35 degrees Celsius are automatically excluded from the algorithm and will not be used for your fertility calculations. As a rule of thumb, if you wake up in the morning and feel different than usual, for example sick, hangover or overtired, then skip measuring your temperature that day and each day until you feel better again.